Hi, everyone. Welcome to Eagle Forum's Capitol Hill Update. My name is Tabitha Walter, and I am the Political Director of Eagle Forum.
And I'm Kirsten Hassler, our Executive Director. So Congress is still hammering away at Biden's massive $1.9 trillion COVID package. Republicans are doing their very best to stop it, but Democrats in the House still outnumber them in their votes. So the Senate is a completely different story. With the current split, Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Majority Leader Chuck Schumer moved forward a legislative procedure called budget reconciliation in order to pass their wish list with only a 51 vote threshold in the Senate. Initially, a shell budget is passed, triggering a very risky amendment process in the Senate known as vote-a-rama. The intense action played out overnight for 15 hours last week, with both sides offering amendments after amendment after amendment. To our surprise, Republicans were dealt some really good wins.
Yeah, one of the harmful provisions in Biden's plan originally was raising the national minimum wage to $15 an hour. Obviously, this would be extremely harmful for small businesses. The Congressional Budget Office predicted that this would result in a decrease of 1.4 million jobs. This would be particularly devastating in light of rigid COVID restrictions that have forced people into unemployment over the last year. Fortunately, Senator Joni Ernst from Iowa introduced an amendment that would prohibit any increase of the federal minimum wage during the pandemic, which passed by voice vote. And then some other notable amendments that passed included Senator Todd Young from Indiana's amendment to ban economic impact payments from going to illegal immigrants, Senator Marco Rubio's amendment to prevent tax increases on small businesses during the pandemic, Senator Mike Lee's amendment to expand health savings accounts, Senator John Cornyn's amendment to continue funding the police, Senator Jim Inhofe's amendment to maintain the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem, and then last, Senator Rob Portman's amendment to create a website showing the expenditure of COVID funds, which should have already happened, but sometimes you got to hold their hand a little bit on these things.
And unfortunately, there were some other great amendments that failed, like language to prohibit funding for closed schools and funding border security. And Senator Ben Sasse offered an amendment to require life-saving medical care for babies who survive an abortion attempt. However, it was deemed not germane to the bill, making it subjected to a 60-vote threshold instead of that 51 threshold, causing it to fail. Other amendments solidified state bailout money and added problematic language from the Sexist Violence Against Women Act.
Yeah, so fast forward to this week, the House has been marking up a final bill in various committees. And then in a blatant move of partisanship, Democrats promptly added back the $15 minimum wage language. This is in addition to the ridiculous provisions included already, like the expansion of Obamacare, $1,400 checks to all Americans, $400 bonus payments to those unemployed, and then an increase to family planning services that would actually line the pockets of Planned Parenthood. Democrats will look for ways to undermine the other Senate amendments that we just mentioned previously. They continue to waste the American people's time by preaching, quote, unity, while pretending to work across the aisle, but ultimately they silence the minority by ignoring conservative policies all the time. So even if they allow Republicans to retain a handful of wins, the bill will be packed with so much liberal pork that it would just be impossible for conservatives to support it in its entirety.
And Eagle Forum applauds the Republicans who have held the line on policies that will help American families, businesses, and our security. And we will not see a final bill until later in February. But once that becomes public, we will give you an opportunity to contact your representatives and your senators about their vote. Until then, if you have any questions about today's Capitol Hill update, please post them below. We will be back next week right here at 2 p.m. Eastern. See you then.
See ya.